Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As promised, in today's video, I'm going to go ahead and show you the performance that I had in both my options account as well as in my long-term portfolio between the months of July and September. After we go over the performance of both these portfolios, I'll talk to you guys a little bit about how I move money around between these two accounts to make sure that I'm always funding my long-term portfolio with the profits that I make with options. If you stick around towards the end of the video, I'm going to share with you guys my true feelings about options trading and share some real expectations that you should have before you get into it. So for that, make sure to go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel for some future videos, and press that bell notification so you know every single time that I post on the channel. Okay guys, so we have the computer pulled up. We'll start with the option account. We'll get into the long-term account. We'll talk about how I manage the money between the two and then get into some expectations for options trading. So going over to the account over here, this is my options trading account, my margin account. Right now, $12,357 between the months of July and September. So looking at these, some big ones up here, Tesla, Apple, Tesla. So definitely took advantage of some of the tech moves that we saw in those 3 months. If I filter this around, we can go to, let's say, August. So between August and September, we had a $9,585 gain between those 2 months. So really nice performance. Filtering some of the wins and losses, one thing that you'll realize is that my losses are relatively small. So I try to focus on risk management the most I can, trying to make sure that my losses stay small and I let my winners ride. So you can see 300, 300, 300. So relatively small losses for an account size that I have. And then going to some of the winners, you know, some big winners here on Apple, Kodak. I think I remember that Kodak puts was a nice winner as well. So some nice trades, keeping the losses small, making sure that I let my winners ride. And that's how I've really been able to be profitable with options trading over the last, within Q3. So you can see $27,166 in this account. So how I like to manage my money between these two accounts, once this options trading account gets over $30,000 to $35,000, what I like to do is I like to scale it back, move that money into my bank account, and then use that money in my bank account to reinvest into my long-term portfolio. How I view it is that my long-term portfolio being increased over time is going to compound. It's a little bit more safe, and taking these profits, moving them into a long-term portfolio is much more beneficial to me than trying to build this options trading account to like $50,000 or $100,000. Something that I've realized personally is when my options trading account gets over a certain amount, I start to get a little bit overzealous with my positions. I start to get a little bit too excited and take position size that are way too large and really get my emotions going. So even though it's a small percentage of the portfolio, my emotions kick in, my trades get worse, and that's why I like to keep this account at a manageable amount and try to keep my position size pretty small. Now that's just my personal view. Obviously, if I would continue to grow my options trading account, I can probably make more and more money if I had the heart for it, if I had the emotions for it. But as of right now, I don't like to see large losses, even though it's a small percent of the portfolio. That's me personally, that's how I manage it. And maybe that's something that you guys can take away from this video. So that's my options trading account. That's how I manage my money between the two accounts. Now let's go ahead and look at the long-term portfolio. So if I go over to my long-term portfolio, which is right here, go to performance and value. This is so the estimated income is my dividends. So about $340 in income over the next year with some of the dividends that I own in this portfolio. So not bad, obviously something that will grow over time. If we go to performance and value, looking at this, I started this long-term portfolio back on April 3rd. And since April 3rd, the dark purple line is my performance. So just about 45% since April 3rd up until today. So that's awesome profits. I mean, 45% in a long-term portfolio, that's something that you can't look past. Long-term portfolios, in my opinion, are a great way to compound money over time. And that's why I continuously invest in this. So right now, the account's at about $18,000, up 25% here, $3,615. Today, with a nice market rally, up about $217. So you can see that I actually outperformed so this is the Dow, the blue line is the S&P, the yellow is the NASDAQ composite, and the orange is the NASDAQ 100. So with my portfolio having some tech, having some dividend stocks, it's actually been able to outperform because I've been a little bit heavy on the tech side recently with how great it has been performing. So there it is. There's the performance of the long-term portfolio. Really nice. And I'm going to continue to use my option trading profits, moving them into this account to make sure that it compounds over time. So before we get into my real feelings about options trading and long-term investing, I quickly want to say that all of the trades that I take are in my Discord chat. It's the first link in the description below. 1,200 other traders in there on a daily basis, sharing their education, sharing their knowledge, and sharing their trades. It's a great place to start if you're just getting started with options trading. All right, we're moving over to the couch because we're going to get real for a second and talk about options trading and set some real expectations for you guys out there if you're just getting started. Now, for me personally, how I look at options trading, it's not a way to make money over the long term. For anyone that's out there selling you guys that options is a great way to make a living, a great way to supplement your income, that is total BS in my opinion. Options trading is extremely volatile, it's extremely risky, and thinking that you can live and use options trading as a long-term source of income is really difficult and not something that I recommend. Now, for me personally, how I manage options, I use my option profits, if I have any, and I move them into my long-term portfolio. The money is much better in a long-term portfolio, compounding over time with much less volatility and much more likelihood of being increased into the long term. If I don't have option trading profits, then my long-term portfolio will be funded by my personal income. My personal income is not options trading, it's not my long-term portfolio, but if I have option profits, I make sure to move them when I have them so that I do not give all of those gains up maybe the next month or even over the next 6 months trading options. I personally do not have the expectation of being profitable trading options every single month, month over month, and living off of that income. It's not realistic, and it's not something that I want to rely on. So my number one piece of advice for anyone out there that's getting into options trading, make sure to have multiple sources of income. Have income with a job, have income with a side business that you run, and use options trading as a way to play around and potentially make a really large amount of money. If you start small, you can try to grow that account up over time, and once you start to see profits roll in, make sure to solidify some of those gains by putting them in a long-term portfolio, putting them in a high-yield savings account, or just tucking them away in your personal savings account. I would say it's only a matter of time after you build up an options trading account. If you continue to try to grow it and try to be someone on Wall Street Bets, you're going to blow the entire account. You're going to get too risky and get too confident. So me personally, I like to move the money out, solidify those gains, and start over. I hope you guys enjoy that transparency. I'm just trying to set some expectations for some newer option traders out there. So with all of that said, don't leave the video without smashing the like button, subscribing to the channel for some future option trading videos, and press that bell notification so you know every single time that I post on this channel. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I hope to see you in the video on Wednesday. Peace.